Welcome to the Death Row and Executions channel. My name is Paco. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more Death Row news. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. Also have a look at my other channel here on YouTube called The Maximum Sentence, where I cover recent crimes and convictions. There will be a link for that as well. This is the 100th episode of this channel. That includes the Ivan Cantu video that was removed by YouTube after supporters of Cantu made a false claim that the video violated YouTube policy, and YouTube never bothered to review the video to see that the claim was false. So I would like to take this time to sincerely thank all of you who have come to this channel to view the videos. I know we are dealing with very, very disturbing cases in every video, but I think that it's important that we get the word out about how much evil exists in this world, something that may help all of us learn ways to keep ourselves safe from harm. I very much appreciate that many of you take the time to view my presentations. I also do try to read all the wonderful comments about my content, and I very much appreciate that too. The many positive comments you have made over the years regarding my presentations of death row and execution cases. Even the negative comments are great. Now, I'm not talking about some trolls posting gibberish that I totally ignore, but negative comments about things that I am doing wrong. Every YouTube content creator should absolutely love negative comments because they teach me to make the content better. I remember one comment early on when I first started this channel, and the guy was really upset because I was swaying from side to side in my chair while I was speaking, and I hadn't even realized I was doing that. So I made a conscious effort to stop doing it. Since this is the 100th episode, I want to take about 60 seconds to quickly show you the progress that this channel has made. The first video was uploaded to this channel on October 12th, 2021, just a little over 3 years ago. As of today's date, there have been just over 8 million views of the content on this channel, and it currently has 89,584 subscribers. Though I don't put a lot of stock into that number because after reviewing my YouTube analytics stats, it appears that very few of about the first half of subscribers are returning regularly. I think that might be the case with most YouTube channels. So I would like to give a special thanks and appreciation to those of you who subscribed early on and are still returning to watch my videos. Now, remember that 100 videos doesn't mean there have been 100 executions. A bunch of them were canceled after I made the video. In the year 2001, Mikal Deen Mahdi was 18 years old and living in Virginia. And that year of 2001, Mahdi assaulted a police officer and was sentenced to 93 months in prison for that crime. Almost 8 years. However, he was released after serving less than 3 years of the 8-year sentence in May of the year 2004 and given 15 years of probation. Just 2 months later, 2 months after being released from prison, Mikal Mahdi was still living in Virginia. He stole a .380 caliber pistol from his neighbor and also stole the neighbor's station wagon and drove it to Winston-Salem in North Carolina. While in Winston-Salem on July 15, 2004, he entered a convenience store and grabbed a can of beer from the refrigerator. He walked up to the counter to pay for the beer, but the clerk, a 29-year-old man named Christopher Jason Boggs, asked him for ID. Instead of showing an ID, Mahdi produced his gun and pointed it at the clerk and shot him point blank in the head. He then fired another shot into Christopher's body after he was down. Mahdi tried to open the cash register but was unable to and left. Mahdi also stole Christopher's car keys, but he didn't take the car, continuing in the station wagon that he had stolen from his neighbor in Virginia. He just killed a man for a can of beer, and because he did not want to show his ID. 2 days later, on July 17, Mahdi was in Columbia, South Carolina, and carjacked a vehicle in downtown Columbia from a man named Corey Pitts. The driver of that car survived the assault. Mahdi saw that he was running very low on gas and then drove that car to a gas station where he tried for about 45 minutes to get gas using credit cards, but the cards were all declining. The gas station attendant found Mahdi's actions suspicious and notified police. When Mahdi realized that police were headed toward him, he fled on foot. Mahdi made his way to a local farm in Calhoun County, South Carolina, which was about a mile away from the gas station where he abandoned the carjacked vehicle. He gained access into the farmhouse, and with nobody there, he made himself at home. Watching television and later looking through a gun collection he discovered in a workshop. That property belonged to a 56-year-old man named James Edward Myers, who worked with public safety for the city of Orangeburg in South Carolina, splitting his work time as a police officer and firefighter. While Mahdi was making himself at home, James Myers was celebrating a birthday for his daughter along with other family members on the beach. According to reports, after leaving the beach, James Myers made plans to stop by the farm before going home, so it appears Myers didn't actually live there. Myers' wife, who is also a police officer, she did go straight home after the beach party. When Myers arrived on the farm, he encountered Mahdi in the workshop. Mahdi pointed a .22 caliber rifle at Myers and shot him 9 times. Mahdi then doused the body in diesel fuel and burned it. He then stole Myers' police-issued truck. As it began getting late, Myers' wife, Amy Tripp Myers, began to worry when her husband hadn't come home yet. So she went to the farm to check on him and discovered his burned remains in a pool of blood near the workshop. Mahdi headed south into Florida and was later captured in Satellite Beach on July 21st, 6 days after the murder of the convenience store clerk Christopher Boggs in North Carolina, and 4 days after the murder of off-duty police officer James Myers. He was later extradited to South Carolina to go on trial for that murder. By this time, police in North Carolina had concluded from watching surveillance videos at the convenience store in Winston-Salem that Mahdi was also the killer of the store clerk, Christopher Boggs. Also, car keys belonging to Christopher were found in the recovered car that Mahdi had carjacked in Columbia and abandoned at a gas station. In the year 2006, in South Carolina, as prosecutors were preparing for trial and members of a jury pool were being selected, Mikal Mahdi's lawyer notified the district attorney that his client has chosen to avoid trial and plead guilty to all charges. It's not clear from the case files, but it is believed that Mahdi was attempting to avoid the death penalty by pleading guilty. A judge in South Carolina decided to sentence him to death anyway. In December of the year 2009, Mahdi and another death row inmate named Quincy Allen created some homemade knives, referred to in prison as a shank, and stabbed a prison guard named Nathan Sasser several times. Mahdi and Allen then tried to escape from the prison through a fence, but the escape failed. Sasser survived the attack, and no charges were filed against the two men since they were already on death row. Quincy Allen, however, later had his death sentence commuted to life without parole following an appeal. While still sitting on death row in the year 2011, Mahdi was transported to North Carolina, where he was to go on trial for the murder of the convenience store clerk Christopher Boggs. But he pled guilty to all charges there as well, and there he was given a life sentence without parole for that crime before being sent back to death row in South Carolina. Once again, thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the subscribe button for more death row and upcoming execution stories so that you're alerted when the next one appears. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. My name is Paco Rivera. Take care and bye for now.